Hello, friends. While cannonballs flew and congressmen debated, not everyone in the American Revolution wore breeches and powdered wigs. Some wielded silence like a sword. Others, though not invited to the ball, still danced with destiny. Today, we meet those whose stories weren't told in the official minutes, but whose footprints are all over freedom's path. Let's start with Native Americans, because talk about being caught between a red coat and a hard place. Tribes across the continent faced impossible choices: side with the British, who promised to halt American expansion westward, or with the colonists, who already had a habit of ignoring treaties like they were sail flyers. The Iroquois Confederacy, once a strong league, fractured as member nations split allegiances. The Cherokee largely backed Britain, leading to brutal retaliations. For Native peoples, the revolution was less about liberty and more about survival. Spoiler alert, neither side wrote a happy ending for them. Now shift to the enslaved African Americans, those who heard men shouting, "Give me liberty or give me death," and wondered, what about us? The British offered freedom to enslaved people who escaped patriot masters and joined their ranks. Thousands took that chance, fighting, spying, or simply running toward uncertain hope. On the other side, some enslaved individuals joined the Continental Army when promised manumission. Even George Washington eventually allowed black soldiers to serve, though not before quite a bit of squirming. One remarkable figure? James Armistead Lafayette, a double agent who fed false info to the British, helping secure victory at Yorktown. Yes, the guy who spied the spies, and then had to petition for his freedom afterward. Revolutionary irony, anyone? And then, my friends, there were the women. Oh yes, the ladies of the Revolution didn't just sit around knitting flags, though let's be honest, Betsy Ross had skills. They managed farms, printed newspapers, and smuggled supplies in their petticoats. One even fought disguised as a man, Deborah Sampson, the original undercover boss. Let's not forget Abigail Adams, who wrote to her husband, "Remember the ladies." And if you didn't, well, she warned, "We are determined to foment a rebellion of our own." Honestly, Abigail deserved her own musical. Whether rich or poor, enslaved or free, on the battlefield or in the kitchen, women shaped the course of this war. Not with votes, perhaps, but with valiant resolve and very little recognition. So while Washington crossed rivers and Jefferson crossed seas, millions of others, indigenous people, black men and women, mothers, daughters, and the voiceless masses, carried this revolution forward. Not in the headlines, but in the margins. Not with declarations, but with determination. And though their dreams of freedom weren't realized in 1776, their echoes stirred future movements. The world was watching and waiting. Speaking of watching, two unlikely comrades are about to lock eyes across the Atlantic. One is an American general who's had a tough run. Let's just say he's no fan of losing New York. The other is a French noble with excellent hair, a taste for justice, and 7,000 troops. Together, they'll march history to a cliff's edge and give it a push. Next episode, we lace our boots and follow Washington and Rochambeau as they carve the path to the final showdown in The Road to Yorktown, Washington, and Rochambeau.